This is Electric Universe Eyes, and today I'm going to narrate the Thunderbolts picture of the day, titled Electromagnetic Nebulae, posted by S. Sherratt, July 10th, 2023. Image is the Rotten Egg Nebula. Original post, July 10th, 2013. The universe behaves according to the laws of plasma dynamics. In every science journal discussing the behavior of planetary nebulae, the prevailing opinion usually involves gases and dust, quote, blowing through them, as well as, quote, winds created by, quote, shock waves from exploding stars. In many cases, the nebulae is described as, quote, star forming because intense X-ray radiation or extreme ultraviolet light are thought to indicate that nuclear fusion reactions are occurring within the cloud. In an electric universe, plasma, not hot gas, flows through space. The physics of electricity applies, not the physics of wind. Within the shell of a planetary nebula are one or more plasma sheaths, or, quote, double layers, that act like capacitors, alternately storing and releasing electrical energy. The current flow alternately increases and decreases within the sheaths inside and outside the shell. Charged particles in motion constitute an electric current. An electric current is accompanied by a magnetic field that wraps around the current and diminishes with the distance from it. The magnetic field gets stronger when more charged particles move in the same direction or when they move faster. Ions moving through the magnetic field are squeezed toward the axis. Plasma physicists refer to this as the, quote, Bennett pinch. An electric discharge in a plasma cloud creates a double layer along its axis. Positive charge builds up on one side and negative charge on the other. A strong E field exists between the sides, and if enough current is applied, the double layer glows. Otherwise, it is invisible, and it is described as, quote, dark mode. Double layers and current filaments also respond to the interstellar electric currents in the circuit that threads through the galaxy. They are mostly dark mode phenomena because of their low current density, but the magnetic fields they produce are apparent and detectable in the Z-pinch or Bennett pinch zones that arise. A neon lamp that emits light only at the excitation frequency of a specific gas is a more correct model for nebulae. Electricity passing through neon gas causes it to form a plasma to glow a pale yellow. Other gases, such as oxygen or hydrogen, produce blue and red light, while heavier elements emit their own colors. Plasma behavior is unfamiliar in many ways. It is often difficult to discern that plasma is completely different from a gas. Plasma's similarities to gas are overshadowed by its failure to correspond with gas kinetics. Since more than 90% of the light frequencies from planetary nebulae are in the ionized oxygen range, they should be thought of as oxygen discharge tubes and not balls of gas. Ideas like this are unfamiliar to astronomers who think in absolute terms of gravity and mass. They seldom think about charges. They think of moving charges from the sun as a, quote, solar wind instead of an electric current. They think of charged particles impacting a planet or moon as a, quote, rain instead of an electrical discharge. They think of charged particles moving along a magnetic field as a, quote, jet instead of a field-aligned Birkeland current. They think of abrupt changes in the density and speed of charged particles as a, quote, shock wave instead of a double layer that can even explode. As astronomer Amy Atchison wrote, quote, it's been over 300 years since Newton encountered his apple, and his conception of gravity, now modified by Einstein and supplemented with similar mechanical theories of solids, liquids, and gases, has become the popular vision of space, an almost empty universe of self-contained bodies. And now it's been 100 years since Birkeland encountered his aurora, and his conception of electric currents in space, developed by such pioneers as Irving Langmuir and Hannes Alfvén, has been a footnote to standard theory, rarely called upon except to explain the occasional curiosity in space, end quote. It's about time that the simple, more straightforward explanations are remembered, and not the arcane, overly complex hyperbole that seems to be the standard for scientific papers today. This was written by Stephen Smith.